You know what I'm saying? Stop feeling guilty for being a man because um, no woman is sorry for being a woman, no matter what she does. Not one.
I can see. Thank you.
The Honest Thief. On this movie, basically, a bank robber falls in love. There's a bank robber. He falls in love. He seeks redemption. Then there's a conflict into the resolution. And of course, Hollywood, it it puts in the love story, so you have an excuse to watch it, basically. So it's another one of those stupid Hollywood movies. Basically, it, it it tells the story of a guilty man. Man, I mean, basically, man is guilty. Just because he's guilty, he must pay and must provide and do all this for love. So he basically his whole life was spent um, building up for this great, wonderful love that he should have one day at the end of his life, after all his work is done, and now he deserves it. But man's gift, his brains and his brawn, is basically his curse. Um, the story goes that spoiler alert. Um, Liam Neeson plays a bank robber who he basically he becomes a bank robber because he sees his dad get shafted by corporate America. Ooh, what a surprise! Another American tale that's as American as you guessed it, American Pie. I mean, that's what happens. He takes his revenge. Oh, that's right. What happened was the company of his that his dad worked for 35 years. The CEO bank took the pension, embezzled funds like they normally do, and then his dad was penniless and left with shit. So he goes and robs the bank. He's good at cracking safes. He knows how to pick the safes with the right towns, with the right requirements, with empty uh, vacant businesses next door. So it's easy for him to basically crawl, go from wall to wall to get to into the bank, and then he's there over a 3-day weekend. That's the movie. Spoiler. That's what happens. But so he basically gets his revenge, and then he keeps doing it more and more and more, and he exploits a weakness in 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 I guess corporate infrastructure. Small town banks. He finds the weakness, and then he exploits them. And that's kind of what man does. But I guess you can't be celebrated for that. If you're a man and you go punch people around, you go walk up and punch people just because people don't like that. No, you got to be in a boxing ring. You got to be regulated. Even with women, you gotta be regulated. If she's out here sleeping with everybody, and people don't like that. But it looks a little bit better if she's in a brothel, or she's at actual you know streetwalker, or whatever you want to call them. I don't call them that, but whatever you want to call them. Like, it's better if she's in a corporate setting, or a more organized setting, to where it just the actual transaction that we're going for is smooth, and there's no issues, and there's no feelings involved. But they could do that to man. And that's what's happened with society, man. That's what's been going on with society. That's what's been going on with men in society, that each slab, each law, each invisible rule that they create is just another weight put on top of man to crush him into being man. Before we had skyscrapers and cell phones and well, I mean, we've always pretty much had rules for the most part, but before we had, like, really just thousands of groups of people in one area, man was able to go free and do whatever he wanted to. The more we created towns and societies and more rules, is the more they just squeezed man from being what man actually is. And now he has to be man, but in a kind of certain kind of way, like in a maze, a little lab rat in a maze. Like, you got to be a man, but you got to do it a certain kind of way, a certain kind of times, and certain kind of, it's crazy. And all society really does in the end is beta ties men. It just it just It just it weakens us. That's what society really does. It just weakens our just what we used to be and where we came from. Not only that, but basically another one red pill truth I think in this movie that's interesting to see is that every character, every male character deals with loss. Um, the main character, Liam Neeson, his father dies, so he runs his life, robbing banks. Then you meet the what's his name? The one guy, the first cop dude, not the T1. There's a T1000 guy up in there, Robert Patrick. The other guy, the not Suits. What was he? What was that dude? He that you Burn Notice guy, Burn Notice dude, Burn Notice guy. He the first you meet him, he's divorced. Okay, so he's been dealing with that. Then Robert Patrick or T1000, the T1000 actor, that nigga dies. He gets shot. Then there's the two FBI agents. There that one the one guy who's in that Hunger Games. That dude, he's always the bad guy. He's always his house got blown up, and then of course he loses his life because he's a criminal, so he gets caught in the end. He loses that. His partner, the family man, he loses his life. Okay, his partner shoots and kills him. Like every man deals with loss, and that's the power of man. Something that women they can't really do. Like you got to be able to have it all, lose it, and on a whim, and then go back and create it all again, like and even better than before. Like if you look at the esoteric meaning of Job in the Bible, I look at it like that. Like that's what you got to be able to do. You got to use your God power, your of imagination and creation to go out there and recreate your own thing. You have to use the power of God to basically the idea to create nothing from something. Everything in this world is always it was nothing before. It was something. It existed in somebody's brain first. Okay, before we had this. That's what man does. You know what I'm saying? Like women. That's why do you think they keep talking about? Well, we create life, we create babies. Okay, but if the bitch can do it in a coma, then she's not creating life. I mean, what is she really creating? I mean, you can't create no skyscraper, no iPhone, no Facebook in a coma. But a woman can create, have a baby, get pregnant, carry the baby to term, and then and it be ripped out of her body, be without her knowing it, without her being conscious of it, the act of all. So it don't. So what are you creating? What are you doing? There is no Themyscira. There is no Themyscira. There is no Amazon. There is no place where women go out and go. There is no woman Hollywood. There's a black Hollywood, maybe, I guess. Then there's that Bollywood or whatever, the Indian Hollywood or whatever. We got our own whatever. There's a black this, even if there's some like stupid things like NAACP, like there's pseudo black institutions. Like at least they pretend like that is real, even though shit like that's not. But we have some things that are our own things. Sometimes some of those things don't work, but we have our own things. Women don't have that in anything. They wait for men, like your boy said. They wait for men to build it up, and then they come up and then try to see what they can take from it, and see what they can be given. They don't make, they don't give. They just take. Man gives, women take. That's just how it is. And you just got to understand it and move on from it, as the saying goes. But every character deals with basically loss, and they die, and that's what you have to be able to do. You have to have the power to go recreate, because they can't do it. That's why they look up to us. That's why they like watching us when we're doing man things. When we're not paying attention to them, they wonder what we're paying attention to. Why are you gay when you want to go hang out with the guys and go, play video games or whatever guys do, whatever we do, whatever we want to go do, watch the game, this that. They don't understand it because their whole circumference, everything that they're doing is based off of attention and want from man. Even if they are competing with women, they're using men at the end of the day, they're gonna have to use a man to compete with another woman. Their whole constitution, their whole everything is built off of um um a man. It's all built off. Their whole world is built off of what some man is paying attention to them or doing or whatever. All of it. Not only that, he gets that, and that's another big thing too. Where his brain is weak. He gets that money, and instead of getting that money and doing something correct, more courageous, or anything, he could have done anything. He could have donated to charities. He could have created a foundation. He could have created a business that stops that, or whatever. He could have. You know what that money did for him? His life's work. You know what it did for him? Caused him to have guilt. It gave him guilt. He could have done something good with that money, but instead used his power with that, which caused him to have guilt, or caused him to feel like I don't know if he's less than a man, because then he just becomes he's man, and so he does man things, and he just goes out and operates. But for some reason, he feels like I don't know if it's that he's not good enough, or but well, I don't know. He says he doesn't want to feel guilty, but again, that's why he turns himself. He's honest because he turns himself into the police, because he did that because of love. Again, because Hollywood, because of love. He turns himself in because of love. His life's work has caused him to have guilt, and for him to accept that love, or for him to feel worthy for this love, he has to turn himself in because of guilt. How fucking lame is that? But once again, though, that old saying, uh, uh, a key that opens many locks is a master key, and a lock that opens too many keys is a shitty lock, or a shitty door. Um, he's cracking a safe. He has the master key. He has the formula. He has the life plan that gets him into where he's trying to go. He has the patience, the skill, the unwavering dedication. That's what it is to be man. He took his time. He cased out the joints. He made sure it's just like looking at stocks. He made sure it had the indicators. He had you know the information, all the details he needed to execute the plan he needed to, and he did it flawlessly. So flawless, nobody knew who did it, and he basically would have went. You know, it's just like Batman. Like, when do they find out his identity? I mean, he kind of tells on himself. I mean, obviously, because he's got all that money. What else person in Gotham City has that kind of money? If they're from Gotham, who would care enough? The only person who'd fight for Gotham is someone who had to be from Gotham, and then someone who had a lot of money. I mean, he told on himself, and of course, why did he mask himself up? Because he's covering up a huge trauma and pain. It's all psychological, you know. But but he still, what does he have? He had the patience. He has the skill, the unwavering dedication, manship. That's men do that. Women don't do that. Women don't have skill. They're not unwavering nothing. They don't wait to get somebody's attention. No, that you give me attention now. Or okay, they're so used to, like little children, give it to me now, or I don't know how to deal with this, so I go off and pay attention to something else because it's giving me something, because I'm too emotionally or psychologically stunted to handle not being put at the forefront of something, because I know they're not worth shit. They're not worth anything. They don't build. They don't do nothing. They just sit around and look pretty. And of course, if they can't do that, the more they realize they can't do that, or don't have that power to make men stop in their tracks. Think about they don't care. They don't move on to another power to I don't know, anything. Do something with babies. They don't move to another power to build business, or to create, have communities or plant trees. They don't move on to another power. They don't have the power to make a man do whatever. They turn crazy. Men, we just okay, we deal with it. Oh well, we can't. We all of us ain't 6 feet tall. We can't all play basketball. We get that. We're cool. That out from the beginning, we knew there were certain things we can and cannot do, and we had to be good at what we were going to be good at, or at least great at what we're good at, or just fall through the cracks. Just another guy. Whatever. That just didn't feel like trying too hard enough. But um, that you got to become the master key at something, at anything, at whatever, and because they're going to take notice of that. And yeah, women are impressed by our masculinity. The funny thing about it is, all this toxic masculinity is them trying to cover up. It's them taking a shit and covering, kicking their legs like dogs do to cover it up, because they really are impressed by masculinity. And what's so fucked up about it, again, this movie shows that you have to. He was sorry for no reason. There's a scene where he takes, he's deciding to fight back. He comes back again to rescue. He rescues her twice. He rescues his girlfriend after she gets beat up. Then he finds out that the bad FBI agent is gonna come after her in the hospital. So he comes back again, saves her, and then she gets to see him put bombs together and then blow up the FBI agent's house, and she gets impressed by it, and she thinks it's cool. So he really had no reason to feel guilty. This whole movie is about him feeling guilty and turning himself into the police. But he shows his master key level skills in front of her, and she's impressed. And now and then out the rest of the movie, once she finds out about him and what he's trying to do and his nobility, oh, now she's in love with that. Now she thinks he's great, and she tells the cop guy, he's not a bad guy. Now she's taking up for him. She don't care that he robbed banks, that he did this, that he did that. It don't matter anymore. All his sins are washed away in the blood of her lamb. She doesn't care. Be a man and don't be sorry for it. If she don't like it, who gives a fuck? There's a bitch that will. There's bitches that were fucking Hitler. That when they were steamrolled, the Hitler and the Nazis came through and steamrolled Poland. You don't think some of them bitches said, "Oh fuck it, shit, jumping ship. Hey, I'll be on team, whatever. I'll be on team Heil Hitler." You think some bitches didn't care? You think about, it's all biology. Stop letting all this technology and skyscrapers and shit fucking fool y'all. When we was clubbing bitches and taking them bitches, think about there was a group of 10 to 20 dudes that went out clubbing bitches, found the bitches, clubbed them up, got them, and then they got used to it. Or they were going from land, like doing Genghis Khan shit, going from land to land, village to village, raping and pillaging and stealing bitches. Okay, some bitches said fuck it. We are structured. They are change. They're fluid. That's why you say, well, they're chameleons. They have to be chameleons. They have to adapt to any situation. Why do you think they could be with this one guy and then be with another dude? Because they have to be able to fit into mold. They fit into men. Men don't fit into women. Women fit into men's situation, their life. If you ain't got a job and an opening for that bitch, either keep looking, keep hiring, keep taking applications, or fill the role, do the role yourself, whatever. But if she has a job to do in your life and she ain't doing it, she ain't got no space because you ain't working for her. All she gonna have you doing is putting value into her to pump her up to airing her up to get up to the higher to get up to the clouds where the men she wants, that she thinks she's supposed to have. That's all you gonna do if you put your time and effort into a woman or care. No, she's supposed to be doing that for you. Because what's she doing? What's she? No, it's just for attention. It's just for her to get to the level. All she's doing is trying to get to the level of the man she's trying to settle down with. And then that's it. Never feel sorry for being a man. There was no reason for him to feel sorry. There was just no reason. She was impressed by his masculinity, by his skill, by his patience, his discipline. She was impressed by that, and he spent that movie being guilty and trying to do so, just whatever. Basically, it's a case study, and it's just there's some people who know. There's another saying, there's some who know how to get it, and but they don't know what to do with it, or they know what to do with it, but they don't got it. He knew how to get it, but he didn't know what to do with it. He got that money, and he didn't know what to do with it. He didn't know. He didn't have to feel guilty. There are people out there that are doing way worse than him. We could talk about all the traumas and tragedies and fucked upness of the world of life, and he was worried about a little funky ass fake money. Okay, because fiat currency is fake. It's bullshit. It ain't backed by gold and silver, so it's bullshit. See, and that's what I'm telling you about all this society, all this social media, all this bullshit. Stop letting all this shit fool you. Stop. It's not real. It's blocking you from seeing what's supposed to be making you a man and what you're supposed to be doing and what you're supposed to be paying attention to focus on. He was feeling guilty for no reason. She loved all that stuff about him, the stuff that he didn't like about himself. She liked it. Stop feeling guilty. Just stop. That's what this movie. That's what you should see when you see this movie. Don't feel guilty about doing what you do. He wasted the whole movie's a waste because he didn't have to do none of that shit. All he had to do was just, live his life. He got his girl, be comfortable, be mysterious from time to time, and and just surprise her with, just being better than what she's had before the past. Since he decided that that's what he wanted, that's all he had to do. You know what I'm saying? Stop feeling guilty for being a man, because um, no woman is sorry for being a woman, no matter what she does. Not one.
Eckhart, think about the future.